Good morning to everybody. How you doing? Hope all's well. Keep up the beautiful work. Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach. May Am Yisrael see only good things. Certain things are very hard to digest. We should only see good things. Please, Mashiach has to be coming. We really, really need it. It's Nisan. In the month of Nisan, Hashem redeemed us, and He says He's going to redeem us again. And this is the best year to do it. Yalla, just make it happen. As they say, Higia Mayim Ad Nafesh. Unfortunately, when we see good things, and when Mashiach comes, we're going to see Hashem's whole picture. Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach. Sometimes we don't understand, but we have to learn from Aharon HaKohen. And unfortunately, that tragedy happened right near the tragedy of Aharon happened on the day of Rosh Chodesh Nisan. And over here, this was Erev Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Hashem should protect us all and Gvam Yisrael and Nehama. Aharon HaKohen was one of the most amazing human beings that ever walked the face of the earth. Yes, we had great tzaddikim, obviously, and you're all tzaddikim. Baruch Hashem, Yishtabach Shemo La'ad. However, Aharon was in total control of his mind over matter. That is not an easy accomplishment. When people see things, their mind knows not to do something, but their heart desires certain things. And sometimes a heart asks questions on Hashem, but our mind tries to take over. And sometimes it's very hard for a mind to overpower the heart. Hence, you have in the world all this nonsense. There's crime, there's murder, Shema Yisrael, there's all these terrible things that are out there, all because of people's desires overpowering their mind. But if the mind overpowered the desires, then we wouldn't be in this predicament. And sometimes it's very hard. That's why we have to pray in Atah Honen Le'adam Da'at. Da'at is mind over matter, that the brain overpowers our desires. A guy doesn't want to get out of bed. That's his heart telling him, Yalla, it's cozy. Who wants to go outside? There's no parking. It's raining. And your mind says, sorry, Baba, I got to go. That's why shuls started serving some hot sambuske, because now the heart wants to go to shul too, which is a good thing. Yalla. But anyway, Aaron, he was in control of his heart, and that's why he merited to wear the Choshen HaMishpat on his chest. He wore the Urim V'Tumim, Hashem's 72-letter name. The Choshen HaMishpat, you ask any question to the Choshen, and it gives you an answer from Hashem. Imagine getting a text message from Hashem. Sometimes we have so many questions. We don't know what to do. We don't know, is this the right way? Is that the right way? So one way we know is by asking our Chachamim. When we ask a great Chacham, a Sadiq, and we say, what should we do, Chacham? And when the Chacham gives you advice, it's like Hashem gave it to you. But imagine wearing the Choshen HaMishpat on your chest, and Aharon was in total control. When he had his own tragedy, when all of Am Yisrael was celebrating, and he lost 2 children, Shema Yisrael, Vayidom Aharon, the Pasuk says. He didn't question Hashem. Some people work on themselves that they don't ask with their mouth, which is a mountain of accomplishments. But some people, even in their heart, don't ask questions. And those are the great warriors, the great Giborim. And Aharon had no questions in his heart, no questions in his mind. Even when his younger brother was chosen as the leader of Am Yisrael, an older brother might say, hey, what about me? I'm supposed to be the guy. Why the younger brother? But he didn't ask any questions. Not only didn't he ask questions, he was happy. Now, like I said, it's a huge accomplishment to be happy on the outside. But imagine being happy on the inside too. That is a massive, massive gibor, a gladiator. And that was Aharon HaKohen. And inshallah, we will see Hashem's ultimate picture. A few weeks ago we read Parashat Kitisa, and even Moshe Rabbeinu, he asked, why do good people suffer? Why do wicked people prosper? That's Moshe Rabbeinu asking, right? And Hashem showed him the knot in the tefillin on the back of his head. What does showing the knot of the tefillin have to do at all with answering Moshe's question? And the answer is, we know when a person puts on tefillin, the right strap coming down, we stick it from underneath the belt. And the left side, we stick into the belt from the top. The right side is supposed to be longer and the left side shorter. Some people even might put on the old time belts that the Chachamim and I used to wear in the old country, sort of like a cummerbund in a tuxedo, that wide, or a weightlifting belt. Sometimes, believe it or not, you might go to a synagogue in Israel and see a guy praying with a weightlifting belt. That's why prayer is called avodah. Boy, is he getting ready for a workout. But he's not putting on the weightlifting belt because he puts it on because according to the Kabbalah, the higher belt, the belt should be higher. This way you put one by the heart and one lower down. Long story short, why do we put the right side longer and the left side shorter? Because we know our right hand, our right side represents kindness, what we call chesed, and the left hand represents dinim. When a person goes to a wedding, shirvus mahot b'Yisrael, when you clap with your left hand upside down and the right hand sort of hitting the left hand. We do that on Simchat Torah. David HaMelech did that for the Aron because you're doing a mitzvah and the hesed, the kindness of God, overpowers and prevails over the weaker, we hope weaker, the strictness, the dinim. And that's why the right tefillin strap is chesed, so we want more chesed, not less chesed, so we make it longer. And the dinim, we want less dinim, so we put it in from the top of the belt to make it shorter. So the right side represents the chesed and left dinim. Hashem shows Moshe the knot in the back of his head, and he shows it to him. And what was he showing to him? Because we know there's two straps. But what would happen if you open the knot? It's not two straps anymore. It's one long strap. Hashem was telling Moshe, even though it looks like there's hesed and it looks like there's dinim, but it's really one long picture. It's one long chesed. Everything Hashem does is for the good. And when you open it up and open the whole Megillah and read from beginning to end, and you see that the whole story now makes sense, that's also in the story of life. We see stories and it's very hard to digest. However, in our brain, we know that Hashem does everything for the good, and may we only see goodness and sweetness, Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach. As they say, we're doing a lot of mitzvot now. Everything we're doing for the holiday of Pesach is a mitzvah, whether it's packing for someone going away. People don't go away to just so they could party. They go to a sea, they go to an ocean so they could see the sea splitting a little closer. Heck yeah, they go to see the sand because Hashem said to Abraham, we're going to be like the sand of the beaches. So of course, that's why they're going. As a matter of fact, the Kafahim Palachi writes that you're supposed to build a knis next to water. One of the reasons are because all the sand of the world, all the beaches, has sand from Eretz Yisrael sprinkled on the beaches, believe it or not. So even if you go to Coney Island, over there to the boardwalk, and you sit on the sand, that sand some of it's from Israel. And whether you're in Deal, New Jersey, wherever you are, there's sand in on the beaches, Punta Cana, or wherever person might be, because there's deeper reasons. But when Mashiach comes, everything is going to get all together, Be'ezrat Hashem, like a puzzle. So you can't blend with something if you don't have the same DNA. Therefore, since there's sand all over, the whole world is going to become Eretz Israel, and it's the pinnacle of the world, and we're all going to move there, Be'ezrat Hashem, with beracha. But anyway, even if you're packing, or the people who are going to Pami to buy salt water for $9, thank God they remember the recipe in Pami from year to year, because imagine they forgot it. What would the world do without salt water the night of Pesach? So thank goodness they remember. But short story long, everything, the cleaning and the preparing is all a mitzvah. We went to the matzah bakery the other day and we made an announcement. Our rabbis tell us the work and it's not easy to bake matzah. You got to sit there and they scream, "L'shei matzah's mitzvah," and you have to roll it and put all your energy into it. Now, of course, a person, when you get a workout, you break out a little of a sweat. Not that it's going in the matzah. Don't get scared next time you eat matzah. Of course, the matzah is perfectly clean and kosher. But when your person sweats from a workout for a mitzvah, our rabbis tell us that it erases the sins. That's what the Arizal tells us. So God bless the women, all the running around that they're doing, and the mattresses flipping over. The second Purim is over. That's it. You walk into the bedroom. You can't even take a cat nap. The mattress is upside down. The things are all taken apart. Everything comes out. I said the other day I had to make a little of a shalom bayit, quicker picker-upper, because there was a woman that cleaned already. They clean every day another room in the house, and they found something hidden from one of the kids from last Pesach. Hole mole guacamole. Imagine, like a little toy, that's something they were giving out. They found it in the room. Holy, right? Some of our women, they can't even sleep with a dish in the sink. You know, there's a halacha that in our community is different, believe it or not. Now, ask your local rabbi for specifics. But why are you allowed to clean Friday night dishes? Because you're going to have it Shabbat morning. Why could you clean Shabbat morning dishes? Because you're going to use them Seudat Shalishit. But can someone clean the dishes for Seudat Shalishit? No, because then you're preparing on Shabbat for after Shabbat. But what if there's a woman that cannot function with dirty dishes in the sink? In our community, that's how the women are. If a man sleeps in Brooklyn in the summer on a Monday night, there's a horrible saying that they say far away in Never Neverland, the weekend begins Monday morning. Thank goodness they don't say that in our community, only in Never Neverland. But sometimes the guy sleeps in Brooklyn on a Monday night and he'll bring all his laundry to Jersey, but he left a towel from the shower clean over the shower door, and the wife's taking the laundry. God bless the women of our lives. And she says, "Where's the towel?" "What do you mean? The towel, I just used it once after the shower. It's clean. I threw it over." They can't sleep at night. A woman who can't function with dishes that are dirty, according to halakha, technically, just ask your rabbi if she's considered an istanis with these things or no. But there are situations where a woman can clean the dishes on a Saturday afternoon after lunch, or even after Seudah Shlishi, because they can't function. So it's not preparing for after Shabbat. It is for Shabbat to keep her sanity. Anyway, God bless the women that we have. They're all cleaning, and everything is a mitzvah. There's a lot of koshering to do out there. Now, of course, we know there are some people that want to say you could cook initially in a hametz pot for Pesach food. Obviously, we don't do that initially. The halakha tells us we kosher out everything. And if you remember, some of the grandmas, they used to put a rock in the water. Why are they putting a rock in the water? Because it's a commercial for insurance. Get a piece of the rock? No. The answer is because I have a question. If you have a meat fork that you want to turn into a dairy fork, or Ashkenaz BTW, don't do that all year long. Sephardic hold, you could take, let's say you get a new set of silverware, and you want to take the dairy ones that you had from the previous and turn it into meat, and then use the new ones for the dairy. Are you allowed to do that? Sephardic hold yes, Ashkenaz hold no. However, if you kosher it for Passover, so they're hametz, and now you're koshering those silverwares. Once you kosher it for Pesach, then you could go totally AWOL. You could switch from dairy to meat or meat to dairy as well. But let's say you have a meat fork and the chadamik came and mixed the mac and cheese with the meat fork. Now the fork is not kosher. It has meat inside the metal of it, and it has dairy, and you can't use it anymore. So what do? Everybody knows. You take a pot of water, you boil it, and you throw the fork in, and the flavor that's in the walls of the fork come out into the water. But I have a question. Is it possible that the flavor that's in the water goes back into the fork right after it comes out? It's possible. So what do we do there? So today, what do? We take palm olive and we put it in the water. When you have soap in the water, now the flavor that comes out of the fork goes into the soapy water, and now that soapy water kills the flavor, and then even if it goes back in, it's a chemical form. It's not anymore considered food or anything, and therefore it's not a problem. In the old days, there was no palm olive where the ladies used to soak their fingers in it for a manicure. And what did they do? They took a rock and they threw it in the pot, and now the flavor of the rock doesn't taste so good, and therefore it does what soap does. Another reason why they throw the rock in is because if you have a big pot and it can't fit into another pot, so how do you kosher it out? It has to overflow. How does it overflow? If you fill it to the tippy top and you boil it, it still doesn't boil. It doesn't go all right on the sides. But if you throw a rock in and then it goes carefully, then it does go over the sides. And that's another reason. Sometimes they put a screw inside, something that will make the water not taste good. But when it comes to koshering for Passover, the magical trick is, like we said, palm olive or Dawn or whatever soap that we have. That's why if a person has a dishwasher, are you allowed to have meat dishes and dairy dishes in there at the same time? You have a dairy dish with a little baked ziti on it with cheese, and then you have a meat dish with the leftover rubba from Shabbat. So there's a rule. There's real meat in there, and there's real cheese in there. And if you turn on the hot water, you're cooking them together, which is a sin. Are you allowed to? And the answer is the Cascade comes and saves the day. We got a lot of commercials today. Someone sent out invoices to Palmolive, to Cascade, to all the companies. And exactly. Now, anyway, back to our subject. Because the soap is in the water, and the water is now soapy water, so it goes. There's no more meat, there's no more dairy, there's no more nothing. It's all chemikalim. That's why, mashallah, if a kid has crumbs in his pocket, because in Never Neverland, you have kids putting mini pizzas in their pocket from the Saturday morning breakfast, and then the mother puts it in the laundry, but sometimes laundry can't kill a crumb the size of who knows what, Godzilla. So what do? If it went through the laundry, then you're good. Because the soap of the ring around the collar fighter, Tide or whatever it was, destroys the food. And halachically, we don't consider that food. And therefore, even if the kid does have a couple crumbs in his pants pocket, he's still good over Pesach. Hashem should protect everyone, and Am Yisrael should only see good things. When we kosher the counters, we boil water once again, and there's soap in it, and you pour it on the counters carefully. The rule of thumb for koshering dishes is a halacha phrase that tells us, Kibolo kachpoto. The way it goes in is the way it goes out. If it goes in with being poured, well, how come a counter has to be koshered? Because you might put a pot of soup on the counter and then you pour and it gets on the counter. So that was poured onto the counter. So therefore, pouring is the way it comes out. You don't have to take a blowtorch and blowtorch the counter because it didn't go in with fire. But a barbecue, when you put your pita bread or your hot dog bun on the grate, it went into the metal with fire. Even if someone doesn't put bread in a barbecue is usually hametz. ¿Por qué? Because the hangers are put together usually with flour. On Passover, they use macho man. They use matzah meal, and on during the year, a lot of times they use flour. That's why anything that has mizonot in it is usually mizonot, even if it's the minority. We always go after the majority. If you have a salad, a Caesar salad with a Greek salad with some feta cheese, so you made adama, you don't need charcoal on the jibneh, on the cheese, because it's the minority. But when it comes to grain, not one of the 5 grains, not rice or quinoa, then the majority, even if the minority is the mizonot, it should be mizonot. But when it comes to a falafel ball, you don't make mizonot on it. Why? Even though they put in it flour or matzah meal or the like, some of the places they take, they slice open the top of the Syrian bread and they have that little thing and then they grind it later and use it. Why waste food? We don't like wasting food. There was a falafel guy in Israel, unfortunately, and he's saying I only sell 40 falafels a day when he was selling 4,000 a day. So they dressed up like a poor husband and wife, and they said, "Could you save us that thing that you slice off? Because why let it go to waste? We need food for our kids." And the guy felt so good, but it was really Shema, the IRS, counting how many falafels he sells a day. Oy vavoy, God should protect us all. But anyway, the little that they put, if they put it together to hold it together, then we don't make mizonot. If it's there for flavor, then yes. So anyway, the barbecue, great. It goes in with fire, it comes out with fire. If it goes in with water, it goes out with water. That's the rule of thumb when it comes to koshering items on before Pesach to use for the holiday. We'll stop here for today. Bezrat Hashem. We'll continue tomorrow with good health and good news for Am Yisrael. Inshallah, everyone has the greatest day. Good things. Chodesh Tov. Enjoy the Yehi Shem. Come to our synagogue. We have Yehi Shem every day for the next 29 days. Ahlan wa sahlan. Everybody likes a good old Yehi Shem. Come join us. Nice to see you. All the best. Take care. Bye.